These days in Australia, everybody's interested in China, and it's hardly surprising. But there are a variety of reasons for being interested, and some are positive and some are a bit more negative. On the positive side, if we look at what's happened with our two economies, two-way trade in 2002 was 10 billion, 2012 was 100 billion, tenfold increase in 10 years, and now it's up around about 150 billion. It's obviously not going to keep on going at that rate, but it's enormously important. It's given us the best terms of trade we've ever had. We're one of the very few OECD countries that didn't go into recession during the global financial crisis. China is an important part of that answer, why we didn't. On the other hand, as China rises in power as well as wealth, people do have some concerns. People think about the East China Sea, the South China Sea in particular. That's been a subject that's been raised in successive Australian Defence White Papers now. We need and welcome Chinese investment, but there are some aspects of Chinese investment which cause concerns. For instance, two big Chinese investment proposals last year, one for the development of the Port of Darwin, that was accepted, but one for Ausgrid, Port Telecommunications, and that was knocked back, largely for security reasons. So there's a lot to think about, and people in Australia are focusing on this now in a way which I don't think we've seen before, certainly not in its current incarnation, the way we're thinking about it. What Yellow Edge does, and I've been associated with the Yellow Edge now for a number of years, is provide the opportunity for Australian public servants, people in business, local government, state government, so on, to have a chance to, first of all, while in Australia, to be exposed to a range of some of the top Australian thinkers about China, but then to go to China, and in particular to take part in a residential course in Shanghai, which is in many ways sort of the leading edge of contemporary China. And through this course, with people who actually do senior executive training for the Chinese themselves, to get a far better understanding of both the realities on the ground in China, but also what are the sort of things that Chinese decision makers are thinking about. How are they being trained? How are they being prepared to deal with the sort of world in which we are now encountering one another more and more? So I think for Australia, this is a really important thing, and I think for anybody who can go on these CLAP courses, it's also a tremendous opportunity. I think good for them individually, good for their employers, but I think good for the country as a whole too.